What is going on, guys? Welcome to the podcast, Stop Crying Poser. Oh, hell yeah. We do this podcast every single Friday right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. We got Color 90, Day, Small Paul, Ray Gun, Day Gun, D-Trick, Back Salad, Front Blunt, Love My Toe. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been an exciting week. A lot of things have happened. I have plenty of topics today, but they're all kind of shorter topics. So we're going to try to get to our 45-minute mark, and then we're going to enjoy our Friday. First, let's talk about what happened this week. Well, I discovered long sleeve shirts, and I also discovered ice for the first time ever. Turns out that when water gets really cold, it becomes almost solid, and then you can take these chunks of solid cold water, put them into a small box known as an ice chest or a cooler, and then you can take that with you skateboarding, and it will keep you nice and cold in the 100-degree weather. If you guys saw my last upload, which was, a couple of hours ago, I was able to do Nollie Smith Grind 180, and I got to try out the new setup. So I have an ice chest, a little cooler that holds 10 quarts, whatever that is, and filled up with ice, filled it up with some waters, filled it up with some Gatorade, and then I took these long sleeve UFP shirt or UPF, UPF shirt. Not sure what that stands for, but it's a long sleeve shirt that's supposed to block out the sun. Not only does it block out the sun, moisture wicking technology. If I sweat, I think it keeps the sweat inside the shirt, so then it cools me down. I can also pour my ice cold water on these long sleeve shirts, and it seems like something I should have looked into in the past. All I do is complain about how hot it is trying to skate. All I do is complain about not being able to breathe because the air is so fucked up. And then finally, it cost me only, $14 for two t-shirts, 14 and then 14. So whatever, that's 30 whatever dollars or $28 plus tax. And then I get the cooler, only $9. And then the ice and shit's free. Jesus gave me ice from my refrigerator, and it made skating a lot more bearable. Even though when I did go skating on Tuesday, everything seemed to go wrong. My flat bar was in the sun. I grabbed the flat bar. I burned my hands because usually I have it in a garage. Had it outside, grab it, burn my hands, put it in the car, get to the spot. Forgot my battery. I decided, you know what? I'll use my cell phone instead. Cell phone overheats immediately. I tried to stream it on Twitch. The Twitch got shut down right away. Didn't have anything like a tripod to hold the phone. So once I did get the phone finally cooled off by putting my cell phone in the cooler, I finally got to film that a little bit. I couldn't see the screen of the phone because the sun was so hot on the phone that it makes it automatically go into like protection mode. So you can't see anything. It's really dim. It dims down the phone, so you can only use it for emergencies. I try to use the phone as a backup camera. I'm taking pictures. I filmed 3 minutes in slow-mo, which just kills the amount of space on my phone, like the storage. So everything seemed to go wrong. We did manage to get a couple of Nollie Smith Grind 180s, but I fear that the best ones we landed got landed after the camera died from not bringing the extra battery. And usually I would blame my surroundings and blame everything around me, but this time, for once, not bringing the extra battery was my fault, because after I charged it, I lazily set it on the table instead of unlazily putting it into my camera bag where batteries belong. So it was a little bit rough, but the long sleeve moisture wicking UPF shirts are working out great. I never thought I would be wearing long sleeve shirts every time I go skateboarding in the summertime, but right now I think that's the only option that I have We're going to keep it going. I'm going to maybe figure out a way to keep my equipment cold without putting it directly in the cooler. Maybe I can put them in a Ziploc bag or something like that. Because my fear is that the ice chest might get bumped. And then even if I have the phone protected on top of like some fabric, it could slip in, land in the melted ice, and then, you can't get your phone wet like that. So I imagine it's hopefully going to help me during summer, because the very first time I skated like that, which was this week on Tuesday, everything worked out really good. So that is something positive that's been happening. I also wore those shirts to go shoot some guns yesterday in the middle of the day, in the middle of the desert. And even though there was a little bit of a breeze, I didn't feel overheated at all. In fact, the only thing that was getting overheated was all these guns, because they're sitting in the sun, and then you grab these guns, you realize, oh fuck, they're metal, and the sun was heating them up, and it's getting kind of hard to shoot when you're putting your hand on metal. Hard to like transport. Oh, move this gun over here, move this over here, grab this magazine. Oh fuck, it's 1,000 degrees. My hand is burnt. So maybe we'll look into grabbing some more gloves. Maybe we'll be one of those skaters that wears the weird rash guard pants, the long sleeve moisture wicking bullshit, and 2 gloves. And then maybe a hat with multiple colors with a little propeller on the top that I can spin whenever I land tricks, and I can go, yay! I'll be dressed fully autistic in the next couple months. But you know what? It's better than having a heat stroke and dying in the street. Dying in the street like a dog is not what I want to do. Can I talk to you guys about my questioning of people that turn down free food? Last weekend, I said there's no sports on TV. Who wants to come over? I'm gonna buy all the ingredients to make smash burgers. And 5 people said maybe, 0 people showed up. I said, oh man, that's crazy. Did the same thing on Sunday. Except one of my buddies was hanging out on Sunday, so I ended up going over there, hanging out, playing Mario Party. Took the dog on a dog date. The dogs are having fun. I'm playing Mario Party. That was great. So I say, hey, you want to come over tomorrow for smash burgers? Bro says, yeah, maybe. Doesn't show up. Then this week on Wednesday, I say, hey, Asian John, you're only in town for a couple more days, and I know you're not working today. You don't have work today. You don't have any excuses today. Want to come over? Doesn't come over. So now I got 2.5 pounds of ground beef in my fridge and in my freezer. Thank you to everyone on Twitch who informed me. I'm kind of stupid in some of these ways. I didn't realize I could just freeze that shit and use it another day. So now I have about 2 pounds of frozen ground beef. And you know what? Now I don't want to share them with anybody. You guys don't want to come and eat my delicious smash burgers? Don't worry. You'll know what happened when I show up to the bar or the skate shop or the skate park and I weigh 20 pounds more. It's because I was enjoying myself with myself, cooking by myself. And goddamn it, they came out good. I even bought the processed, pre-sliced American cheese, something otherwise I would never buy. I bought that. I had all the ingredients to make a nice burger sauce, mayonnaise. I had the hot sauce, the lemon. Oh my God, I had all the spices and powders and whatnot. Dijon mustard on top, the pickling liquid from the jalapenos. My God. And I ate it. And it was great. And you know what happened? I think everyone feels guilty now, because here's how I get everybody back. Here's how petty I am. I invited all these people out to hang out to get free food. By the way, not cheap. Ground beef these days, not cheap. And I put a picture of what I ate on Instagram and on Facebook. And then what happened? Then everyone goes, oh man, I should have came. Oh man, why didn't I go over there? That looks so good. Hey, let's do that again tomorrow. Never. Never again. You guys had your chance. You guys had your chance to come eat with your friend. You guys had your moment. My New Year's resolution was to cook for my friends more often, but you know what you've done? You've taken yourself out of the category of friendship. You've chosen to denounce the friendship, and you no longer get free food. You know what? You want a smash burger? You know what you can do? You can buy a Blackstone from Walmart, only $400, and then you can go down to the store, get yourself some ground beef, $5 a pound, and you can make your own bullshit. And then don't ask me for my secret recipe. Don't you dare ask me for the recipe for what's in the sauce, because I'm not telling nobody. If I wasn't trying to make you guys laugh with these funny like metaphors, on a serious note, how crazy is it? And maybe I'm getting on my friends' nerves. Maybe they're all mad at me and I just haven't realized why yet. That does seem like something that could be possible. Maybe I overlooked maybe I forgot to go to somebody's baby shower or something and they think it was personal and now they're all like turning their backs on me for a little while. Sure, that could be possible. But if that's not possible, let's pretend that didn't happen. Doesn't it seem crazy that someone's offering free food to, let's say, 6 people and all 6 of them don't show up? You know what? I've learned my lesson. At the end of the day, I can only control the things that are within my power, right? What is that? Some Narcotics Anonymous fucking phrase? I can only change, I can only affect the things that I can touch, right? I can't change their mind about delicious Chinese meal. I can't change their mind about free smash burgers. So I can only change my mind. So you know what we're doing? We're not cooking for them anymore. You know how many messages I got yesterday about, hey, are you guys doing are you guys like it's me, like I run the fucking restaurant. Hey, are you gonna do UFC at your house on Saturday? Friends are in town, I want to skate, maybe we'll cook some food. Your phone works again. Oh, there's UFC on Saturday and everyone's phone suddenly works again. What are the odds of that? Who would? There must have been an EKG of what is that Call of Duty thing? EKG? It must have been an EMP. A EKG. I was way off. A EMP must have went off whenever I turned on my stove. And then everyone's phone just stopped working across the entire Las Vegas Valley. And then suddenly, now that there's UFC on Saturday, everybody wants to come hang out and eat sandwiches and hamburgers and chips and carne asada. Everybody wants to hang out now. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm busy. Maybe I'm going to go skateboarding in my long sleeve shirt. Yesterday, finally got a chance to go out there into the desert, shoot some guns. Ride Dog took me to a new spot called Apex, and it is kind of wild. I'm pretty sure the actual law states that, I don't know if it's a city law, state law, or county law, but when I used to take my gun courses, they would say if you want to go out into the desert, you're legally allowed to shoot as long as you are, and I'm pretty sure this was the number, 1,000 yards away from any road or structure. 1,000 yards. That's a long way. That's a long hike. So usually what I would do is I would go out there and walk about a half mile. That's probably not 1,000 yards. I would walk out there into the middle of nowhere and I would just shoot by myself or with some friends. Then I found out that we were actually on some Indian reservation land. So I decided I'm never going back over there. Then we started going over to the prison, which gets crowded. And now I found a new spot that Ryan took me to the other day. This fucking thing is like 50 feet from a highway. So if a ricochet flies over my head, it can very easily hit a car. Or let's say if I was a troublemaker and I'm out there shooting and I lose my shit. I could turn 90 degrees and I could shoot a car from exactly where I am. Not that I would. Then again, we're right next to a military base. So I got to see these F-16s flying over, these big helicopters flying over. We were laughing. We're like, I bet they're looking at us shooting our little guns, like looking at us like little ants. Because the guns in those helicopters are like 20 feet long. They shoot like giant fucking missiles and shit. They're probably looking down at us like, oh, look at these pathetic peasants playing with their little guns. Because I was able to, the helicopters were so low right there, I could see little feet dangling out of them. Probably doing some type of military practice or something like that. Anyways, we're shooting next to the road. Everything went great. Wasn't a soul out there. Then again, it's 100 degrees and just me and my dog are out there shooting. They had a ton of trash out there to shoot. I brought a piece of thick steel that I had found at another shooting site. So the steel is actually very expensive. If you want to get steel that you can hang and then shoot, to get a piece like this, it's like 40 bucks. And to get a big piece, it's like $100. So I found a medium small piece out there, threw it in my backpack. It sat in my backpack for over a year. Finally got a chance to use that today. And there's something very satisfying about shooting steel. And we weren't able to hit this steel very accurately because it was very small. But there's something very rewarding about pulling the trigger, right? Boom. And then you hear you hear the explosion happen inside the gun. And then there's a split second of nothing happening where it's silent. And then you hear bing. And you're like, oh, fuck. You can kind of hear how slow the bullet is in reference to like when you pulled the trigger. So really interesting and fun activity shooting that. Also was able to practice the pocket draw. You guys can see our shooting videos. I uploaded them on YouTube yesterday. And it's not like we take a ton of pride in how tactical we are. Part of the reason we went out there was because I haven't shot my guns in over 6 months. I wanted to make sure everything was going to cycle, make sure everything wasn't getting too dry, make sure everything worked, make sure my optics were still functional, make sure your batteries are all good, make sure everything's still zeroed. You never know. You move these guns around, you know, you bonk one on the door when you're walking out, suddenly you can't hit anything. It's because you might have messed up a sight or an optic or something like that. So it's nice to make sure everything works. Went out there, got our shooting done, filmed for like maybe, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes, put the camera away, and then kind of relaxed and had more fun. So we're able to do that. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and listen, I don't think I'm some gun expert. I'm not the best shot in the world. A lot of that comes down to how much do you practice. And with the price of ammo, it's very hard to practice. But I will say I'm proficient enough in the guns that I have to where, you know, I can make some shots. And also, yesterday I was shooting very well. You know, just like skating, you have good days and bad days. You know, days where things are going right and clicking, and other days where things are not working out. Yesterday was a good day for both me and Rye Dog. But I put the videos on Instagram and I put them on YouTube, and it's always guns. Okay, it's never skateboarding. It's sometimes with cooking, but guns is the number one thing where if you put a video of you shooting a gun, someone will be in the comments telling you some booklet, a whole book of what you did wrong. And, well, you know, what you should do is you should put your arm here, put your elbows here, make sure to bend right here, make sure to do this. And I'm not too cool to accept someone trying to give me like advice or criticism. I'm open to that. But I'd prefer to be criticized by someone with military experience, someone who teaches a gun class, someone who, let's say, on their profile is mostly focused around guns. You know what I mean? I don't want a lot of gun advice from a kid that played Call of Duty for a year and then he shot his dad's 1940 revolver once, and now suddenly watched three Demolition Ranch videos, and now he's a gun expert. I don't need advice from those guys. And even if it is helpful advice, I'm less likely to believe that you know what you're talking about. Also, there's no shortage of advice. If I want to look up rifle stance or negating recoil on a pistol, or if I want to look up like how to shoot while kneeling, there's so many resources available on YouTube that I can do my own research and check it out. But there's always someone on there that has to let you know what you're doing wrong. But of course there's no video of them. And some of you might be thinking, oh, you could compare this to Steve Hates skating. Yeah, you could if I hadn't dedicated the last 26 years of my life to skating and if I hadn't taught skateboarding classes for many years, and if I didn't have thousands of videos of me skating already on YouTube, yeah, if I give you skating advice, you're getting it from a source that can be trusted. Every person that gives me gun advice, I have more guns than you. I've probably done more shooting than you. I spend a lot of time watching these YouTube videos. And that being said, I have a lot of bad habits that I need to correct. But I think part of what it comes down to, and I say this respectfully, I didn't ask for anyone's fucking help. I didn't ask anyone for a form check. I didn't ask anyone if the location of my left hand is okay in their opinion. I didn't ask for any of that, but I posted this video knowing that I was going to get a bunch of know-it-alls telling me, well, you're supposed to do this. Well, you're supposed to do that. Oh, you're holding it wrong. Oh, your back foot's in the wrong spot. Oh, you need to choke up more. Oh, you need to pull the rifle into your shoulder more. Okay, guys. Haven't shot in a while. I'm all for the advice, but you know what? You know what I would prefer? And maybe, listen, am I just bad at taking advice? You know what I would prefer? Rather than breaking down all these little funny things and telling me what I did wrong from some guy that watched Call of Duty one time, I'd rather you send me a YouTube video of an instructor explaining what's on your mind. If you can point out something that I'm doing wrong as far as form or where my legs are, rather than you typing what's wrong, find a link to a gun instructor and say, check out this video. It helped me a lot. To me, that's the best way for me to accept criticism. Send me a link to a video, say, check out this video. It helped me a lot with my form. And I'll go, oh, what are you telling me? You're not telling me what to do. You're not telling me how to act. You're not telling me that I'm wrong. I mean, even though you could do that, those are not things that I accept I'm not very good at accepting that type of criticism. If you reshape the conversation and simply say, hey, this video helped me a lot, maybe it'll help you. Then I go, oh, the video helped him. All he's doing is telling me a story of him being helped. He just told me a story of what helped him. That he's not even talking directly to me. He's just telling me about himself. Cool. Maybe I'll check out that video and it would help me. Is this what women feel like when you guys talk about mansplaining? Like a bitch cannot put a jack under a car and jack it up without somebody in the comments going, when you're pushing the jack down, you really should put your legs into it, lady. Like, bitch, did the car go up or not? Hey, Mr. Mechanic, did the car go up or not? Oh, it did? So the tool fulfilled its purpose? Maybe you should shut the fuck up then. I didn't take, bitches changing their tires. They're not working at AutoZone. They're not working at Jiffy Lube. They had a task. They achieved it. And there's always someone in the comments going, why? You didn't put all your weight when you were pushing up that. Okay, fine. That's got to be annoying. That's got to be the same amount of annoying as getting gun advice because of a fucking Instagram story. Anyway, it's for real, guys. There's a lot of things like that. So Steve Hates Skating, the Instagram is not a great example. If I post anything on there, anything, people are mad because I made fun of their favorite skater once 3 years ago, and they've never let go of the anger it caused them and the trauma they now have to deal with for the rest of their life. So whenever I post a picture of an In-N-Out hamburger, I get a comment that goes, fucking bitch, that's what a bitch would eat. That food looks terrible. Looks like it stinks like shit. And you're like, bro, all this because of T-Funk? You're mad at my hamburger 3 years later because of T-Funk? This is how mad you are? We live in a world without problems. We live in a world without problems. I remember once I posted a picture of prime rib on there, and there were people on Instagram who had never seen it. They thought my prime rib, they thought it was an actual, like, rare T-bone steak. They had no idea. And now they think that they're going to make fun of me because they have no culture. They've never fucking seen a prime rib. Jesus Christ. Get out go to a restaurant or something. Go do something. Go live life. There's a lot of food out there that's delicious, and you can go taste it for yourself. You don't have to wait for me to post something on Instagram to talk shit about it. Oh, man. Now I'm thinking I should post that gun video to the Steve Hates Skating Instagram just to prove myself right. You know what? If you guys are online on Sunday, and some of you watch this podcast on Sunday morning, I'll post my gun video on my Steve Hates Skating Instagram, but I'll only post it on the story, and I'll only leave it up for about 6 hours. And then on my Discord, or maybe if you guys bring it up, I will post screenshots of what's about to happen, because I've already psychically predicted all of the gun experts. They're going to tell me all the things that I need to do. So just a precursor to Ninja being able to predict the world. Me knowing how the world works. Everyone wants to correct everyone about everything, especially when you made fun of their favorite skater 10 years ago. All right, this week on Twitch, we were able to break a table in half. Didn't go the way we planned, but if you guys didn't know, I stream here on Twitch 5 days a week, and every once in a while, if we get our little donation bar to go high enough, by the way, there's other incentives for donating. We watch videos, we learn how to cook, we learn how to shoot guns even, the right way, the easiest way. And then when that gets high enough, we break the tables. If you're not familiar with the table breaking, you guys can type in Ninja Lifestyle Table on YouTube, and it'll sum it up. Basically, there's a piece of furniture in my living room, and once the little bar goes high enough with donations, we break it. What happens to the money? Does it go towards charity? Yes. Yep. In a way it does. It goes to Make-A-Wish. It goes to the Make My Wishes Come True Foundation. It goes to Steve's gambling fund. So yeah, tune in and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I had a question for you guys regarding tattoos. I got a new tattoo the other day. Got the Las Vegas Golden Knights tattooed on my arm. I was supposed to get tattooed yesterday, but we got stuck in the desert for too long, so I might either have to wait for Asian John to come back, or we'll have to do something to my shoulder and my armpit, because now these tattoos are all alone by themselves. Anyways, since I've been getting tattoos, I've been talking a lot about them, researching, and it's been on my mind a lot. And I always think to myself, well, Asian John, who now does all my tattoos, when I knew him, growing up with him, he never drew like anything. He never got into graffiti. He never drew pictures. He was never artistic. He never like drew on like his backpack or anything. Even when I would be at his house every day as an adult, he never had like sketchbooks. Motherfucker was not artistic at all. Just a regular ass dude. He didn't even buy like artistic clothing. He just wears polo shirts and pants. And that's it. So he didn't strike me as the type of guy that would eventually go get his fucking head tattooed and then become a tattoo artist and then get really, really good at it. So it always has me thinking, well, if Asian John got this good at doing tattoos, maybe I could learn how to do it. And then I thought to myself, something funny that I wanted to share with you guys. Wouldn't it be great if there was an Aaron Kyro of tattooing? You know how he has the trick tips on YouTube, like how to roll, how to push, how to ollie, how to 180. And then it goes all the way up to like how to 360 flip. But then you realize that most skateboarders will never ever learn how to 360 flip. So then he goes back, he's like, well, let's teach them how to ollie again. And then you go on his channel, there's 50 different tutorials on how to ollie. And then I was wondering, what if he would have done something like that, or not him, but somebody like him did something like that with tattoos. Like, here's how you put together a tattoo gun. A tattoo machine, excuse me. Oh, that's very frowned upon. Here's how you put together the machine. These are the different machines. Here's how you turn on the different power levels. Here's different applications for each power level. Here's how you do a line. Here's how you do shading. And they break it down into like these really easy to understand steps. I think that would be cool. But there's a part 2 to this story. Part 2 of the story is, you know how Aaron Kyro started off with trick tips, teaching you how to skate, teaching everyone how to skate. And then eventually it became, Well, here's a frying pan. Skateboard on a frying pan. Here's a surfboard. Here's a dildo. Here's a fucking pancake. Here's a piece of wood. Here's a stick. Here's a skateboard made of glass. Here's a skateboard made of ice. What if Tattoo Aaron Kyro did the same thing and they started making tattoo machines out of dildos and making tattoo machines out of surfboards, making tattoo machines out of glass or ice? And for some reason, that idea was so funny to me. So if anyone out there makes skateboarding skits, or if anyone out there does like tattoo skits, I think it'd be really funny for you to put together a video like discovering Aaron Kyro, being like, oh man, he does trick tips. He teaches you how to skate, and then you can skateboard on a banana. Oh man, I could teach people how to tattoo and then make them tattoo with a banana. And then somehow build a machine with a banana around it and then show yourself tattooing somebody with a banana. Okay, I don't see any LOLs in the chat, but I assure you this idea is funny. Maybe I haven't been able to make this into a funny topic yet, but if someone could turn that into a skit, I promise you it would be great. And then they could have like a game of tattoo. Tattoo this, I don't know, this flash item, this small quarter-sized tattoo. You get 1 minute, and whoever does it the best gets the other guy gets a letter. Whatever. Now we've gone too far. What else has happened this week? Well, I have one final topic for today. This week on my channel, I only released videos of skateboarders who submitted their own video. Like, all the videos that I reviewed this week were created by viewers and subscribers and followers. So obviously the skill level goes down, but it's fun for me because I can try to point out obvious mistakes and help newer skaters, help them understand mistakes that they're making so that when they make another video, they can improve faster than they would have if they didn't know they were making mistakes. An obvious example of this would be if you're a kid and you're making your sponsor tape and in the middle of the video you show 15 seconds of roll up and then you do your trick and then you show 15 seconds of roll away. Some people might not realize that that's a big break in the action and it brings down the hype and action of the video a lot when you show too much roll up and too much roll away. If you only show like bending down and then jumping right before the trick and then landing, and then as soon as you demonstrate like control over the board, you can then cut the clip right there. That way you can fit more clips into a small video. That's just an example of something basic you would tell someone to do. The thing is about those videos, I feel like they're helping me to contribute something to skating. I'm helping the next generation. I'm doing something positive. But those videos get 0 views. No one cares. No one likes those videos. I'm trying to like follow the success on YouTube, but I also kind of want to make videos the way I want to make them. But it seems like if I really wanted my YouTube to do better, all I would do is just talk shit about pros. But I don't want to do that. I feel like even though that's what people think, they think that's all I do. I mean, honestly, when I rate a pro video, most of them get a rating of 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. So I always rate them really high. But if I said every pro video sucked, I would get more views. So I'm kind of sandwiched in between this idea of, do I want to get more views and then make more money? Or do I want to stay true to myself and make a couple of jokes, but also be helpful? So now I'm having this internal debate on, do I want more money or do I want to be helpful? Do I want more money or do I want to be a good person? And I'm finding it very difficult to find the sweet spot in the middle. So I figured I would just share that with you guys to let you guys know that, I don't know, that the low views have quickly reminded me that helping people is not always going to be the most successful way to progress on YouTube. So It'd be great if I could just do both, but you can't. There's no such thing as saying, "Oh, this guy sucks and he's good." Yeah, that would make me a liar. As soon as I start doing that, now I'm lying to everybody, and then everything would immediately fail. So there's no doing both. I'm just trying to walk the line, trying to make the jokes that I think are funny while still giving props to, all the insanely talented skateboarders that we have today. I mean, it's a great time to be a skateboarder. The culture is, it's mostly made up of pussies and bitches and people that complain and no one who's willing to work hard. Like, that part of the culture is pretty awful. But as far as watching skate videos and seeing insane tricks, what a great time in skateboarding history to be alive. Anyways, that's all I have to talk about today. Can I get a oh hell yeah from those of you in the chat room? If you tuned in late, don't worry, you can catch the repeat of this podcast. It comes out on Sunday. It comes out on Podbean, on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, podcast app, anywhere where you can find a podcast. You can find mine. It's called Stop Crying Poser. Feel free to tell a friend about the podcast. Another day goes by without a single subscribe or donation. Yet another indication that this podcast is still failing just as much as it was failing last week. So we're still kind of up in the air. Anyway, shout out to iBook Boy, D-Trick, Ron, Stop It, Day Day, iBook Boy, Love My Toe, D-Trick, Day Day, Low Key, Day Day, iBook Boy. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Have a great weekend. Stay hydrated out there, especially if you're in the desert or if you're somewhere with a lot of humidity. Try not to be in the sun too much. Wear sunscreen. If you go cliff jumping, try not to land on any logs. Try not to land on any other people. Be careful out there, and have a great weekend. As I always say, don't drink too much, but don't drink too little. Today, YouTube, I'm going to be giving my best friend a tattoo using only my anus.